What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to be talking about a tag team profile today. The tag team I'm going to be talking about is Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels, the Rockers. The impact they had in the late 1980s when they came to the WWF, and their breakup and where each individual's gone in their career since then. So let's start off. When they came to the WWF, they certainly were innovative in the way that they wrestled. They were high flyers, and the WWF at the time was all about pretty much heavy belt wrestlers, strong wrestlers like Demolition, Powers and Pain, the Twin Towers, people like that. They didn't really have the people that were, high flyers and did stuff that people had never seen before. If you look back in the 1980s, the Rockers sort of followed the traces of like the Killer Bees, because the Killer Bees were similar to how the Rockers were when they entered the WWF. So if you've watched the Shawn Michaels DVD, you know that Shawn Michaels talks about how the Rockers, when they entered the WWF, weren't one of those groups that were liked by a bunch of the wrestlers. They were young, they were immature, they went out, they drank, and they were burning the candle at both ends. And needless to say, they were still really great in the ring. They still were not liked behind the scenes. And the Rockers had a couple of huge matches that I'm going to bring up. They had a match against the Twin Towers, which was their first match, I believe, at WrestleMania. And for them to go in against a tag team like Big Boss Man and Hakeem, certainly set the stage for what would become for them. We had the Rockers versus Hart Foundation on Saturday night's main event that never aired. It was the only time the Rockers ever won the tag team titles, and was taken away from them because the rope broke during the match, and they never got the opportunity to ever win the title again. Of course, their breakup when Shawn Michaels super kicked Marty Jannetty through the barbershop window, it was a huge impact on WWF, because before that the Rockers were kind of supposedly struggling, and they weren't getting along. I think it was more that Shawn Michaels knew he had the ability to take off. Marty Jannetty probably knew he had the ability to become a solo wrestler, but at the same time, Shawn Michaels, they brought him out as this main stage player where he would become the Intercontinental Champion, of course become WWF Champion, WWE Champion, World Champion, time after time champion. Whereas Marty Jannetty sort of just fizzled away. He had comebacks every so often, with Leif Cassidy, Al Snow. He would show up once in a while on Monday Night Raw when it first began, interfering with Shawn Michaels' match, coming back to go against Shawn Michaels to win the Intercontinental Championship, teaming with the 1-2-3 Kid, X-Pac. Marty Jannetty's career seems very, very shallow compared to Shawn Michaels. And, Marty Jannetty said in interviews, too, that he was close to death. He was sitting there with a gun in his car. And Shawn Michaels, after his whole religious, rebirth, called up Marty Jannetty. I guess he wanted him to join the church that he was in. And the minute that he called Marty Jannetty was the minute that Marty Jannetty was going to commit suicide. So that was a whole transformation of Marty Jannetty's life. And right now Marty Jannetty, of course, doesn't wrestle. Shawn Michaels doesn't wrestle because he's retired. But Marty Jannetty definitely didn't get the highlight that Shawn Michaels got. So that's been my take on the Rockers, the high-flying duo of the Rockers. You guys comment below if you like the Rockers, what you think about the Rockers, what you think about Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty, their role as a tag team when the tag team were strong in the WWF. So comment below, please sub, follow me on Twitter for this account on Leaders Old School, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.